From the Mount Washington Radio Group online newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. A New Hampshire Fish and Game officer says a 70-year-old Barrington, New Hampshire man died Monday morning while snowshoeing with his wife in Tuftonboro. Lieutenant Jim Goss says Richard W. West and his wife Joyce were on the Red Green Trail on Mount Tate about 11 o'clock when West died about 2 miles in from the trailhead at the intersection of Route 171 and Sodom Road. Conservation officers were joined in the recovery effort by firefighters from Tuftonboro and Ospey Corner and Stewart's Ambulance. The executive director of the Conway Area Humane Society says 2 dogs that underwent hours of emergency surgery at the shelter this weekend are vaccinated and have been surrendered to the shelter. Virginia Moore says the previous owner of the dogs was located yesterday after the 2 boxer pit bull mixed breeds were found on Eaton Road Saturday afternoon with their snouts full of porcupine quills. The dogs are recovering from their injuries, but would have had to be quarantined for 6 months if their vaccination history could not have been determined. 2 sub-agencies of the U.S. Department of Agriculture will use nearly $1 million to improve the health of forests on public and private lands in the Valley area. It's officially called the Chiefs Joint Landscape Restoration Partnership. White Mountain National Forest will use $250,000 to make improvements on public lands, and the Natural Resources Conservation Service will use $710,000 to provide landowners access to conservation efforts. Roger Simmons is a natural resource staff officer with the White Mountain National Forest.
Across the National Forest, up in the Androscoggin area, on the Pemigewasset, and also in the Saco River drainage around North Conway. Some of the projects that we'll be doing, reducing erosion and extra sediment in the rivers. About $100,000 will go into trail work, about $20,000 in invasive species issues, a lot of that work up in Jackson and Bartlett. Some additional money will go into some road culverts over on the Pemigewasset region, and the final $30,000 will go into the Lower Falls project on the Swift River.
Simmons says controlling erosion and reducing sediment will help to improve water quality, and the project will have a direct impact on drinking water quality for communities in the Valley area. He says there are a lot of, quote, lessons learned from the devastating effects on the forest from the remnants of Tropical Storm Irene, with some areas still under repair. Volunteers are welcome to join in the various projects. Simmons recommends you stop at the Saco District Ranger Station on the Kankomagas Highway if you're interested in helping. Farmers and forest landowners in Conway, Bartlett, and Jackson can get help from the NRCS to make environmental changes that will improve water quality. The program is called the Environmental Quality Incentive Program. For more information about it, call Nels Liljadal at the Conway Service Center at 603-447-2771, extension 102. In Maine news, a bill that will prevent $40 million in cuts to revenue-sharing funds for municipalities next year has passed into law after Governor Paul LePage took no action on it. The governor opposed the bill because it takes money from the state's rainy day fund to restore state aid to cities and towns. He says that will hurt the state's bond credit rating. But the bill passed in both chambers earlier this month with enough votes to overturn a potential veto. The law will go into effect 90 days after the legislature adjourns in April. Supporters of the measure say revenue sharing has been slashed over the last several years and communities can't handle further cuts. They warned of skyrocketing property taxes and cuts in services. In sports, the Portland Pirates lost their 4th straight game last night, losing 4-3 to the Hartford Wolfpack in Lewiston. The slumping Pirates host the Worcester Sharks tomorrow night. In women's college basketball, number 1 UConn broke open a close game late in the first half on the way to an 81-48 win against SMU last night. In the weather today, numerous snow showers with snow accumulating around an inch, highs around 20 to 22. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 30. Becoming partly cloudy tonight, cold with lows around 10 below to 6 below zero. West winds gusting up to 20 in the evening, becoming light. Wind chill values as low as 21 below. And partly sunny in the morning Thursday, then mostly cloudy with scattered snow showers in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 20s. From the Mount Washington Radio Group online newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.